Coach here to tell you about an all-star bundle. It's Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. And right now you can get all three with a special limited time offer. It's as easy as catching a football. It's as easy as catching a football. It's as easy as catching a football. Oh yeah!
Yes. I'm a baby. Typically you say ready before you throw it.
Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. And right now you can get all three with a special limited time offer. It's as easy as catching a football.
Tell me why we fight.
Because our enemy still lives.
You all have traveled far and missed the warmth of home. But tonight, think of only one thing. Killing the monster.
You're not hearing me. There's something else up in the sky. And it's not human.
Sora 2 video generation is not available in our region.
It is if you're on Artlist.
Huh?
What? Sora 2 is now on Artlist.
The most advanced AI video model is now available in every region. No invite code needed.
Get incredible realism with fully integrated sound.
You keep the frame, I keep the story.
Build your own world with multi-shot stories and character consistency for any genre, all based on your prompt.
By the prompt, we rise!
So go to Artlist and start creating without limits. No invite code needed. Get incredible realism with fully integrated sound.
You keep the frame, I keep the story.
Build your own world with multi-shot stories and character consistency for any genre, all based on your prompt. So go to Artlist and start creating without limits.
All right, let's see what's going on here. So, that was Funky. What was it? Funky Funk Zone, and they're doing like Sonic Adventure 2. They're doing Sonic Adventure 2. What do you call it? Sonic Adventure 2 covers. Oh crap! Let's see. Yeah, so we got that going. Hoping everybody's doing good. This is Kid Ego Media. I know it's been a while. I'm finally on break, and I am very excited about that. Let me get this off the screen. I just wanted to see what was going on there. But I'm finally on break. Excited about that. Hoping to have some fun tonight, and we'll see what's going on. Uh-oh, let's see. Okay. I thought we were streaming vertically, but let's see. Yeah, we're streaming vertically. Yeah, if you're in the vertical chat, what's going on, y'all? I hope y'all doing good. The vertical YouTube chat. We're on Twitch right now as well. We got the YouTube vertical, YouTube horizontal, Twitch, and there is a TikTok one. You're not on break yet. What's going on, Funny Ice Cube? You doing okay? You're not on break yet? I'm sorry to hear that. I just got on break. Well, technically I'm not on break. I have one more class I need to finish, but my math test isn't due till Tuesday night, so I'm gonna study for it in the morning. Then I have an online math algebra, intermediate algebra I'm doing, so I'm gonna knock that out, and then hopefully we do good. I got an A in one class, I have a it should be A, 2 B's, and unfortunately I'm taking a programming class, so I think I got a D in my C++ class, but we're not gonna, we'll deal with that when it comes. But besides that, just chilling, and I hope when you do go on break, it'll be good. Hold on, let's see here. Can we see the chat on screen, or is it just is that a thing? Don't forget to like, subscribe. So today, let me see what's going on in my watch later on my YouTube, because I want to just watch some videos, chill, just hang out for the most part tonight, respond to some stuff. Now, I'm gonna probably take this channel in a different direction going forward. So what I want to do is I want to focus on anime, of course, but I also want to focus on politics, because those things for me are very important, and they kind of intersect at times. But I mean, but bean and cheese burritos are tasty. Come on, those have got me some hard times. And peanut butter spoon. Peanut butter spoon. You're poor. Peanut butter spoon is a invaluable commodity and resource. I have found myself waking up, not recently. I had 3 kids, and I can't be eating peanut butter spoon in front of them. I can't do that unless I'm teaching them. Them being tiny right now, they can't even have that much peanut butter. But peanut butter spoon definitely got me through a lot of hard times. And bean and cheese burrito has too, to be honest. I'm in my 30s now, so that was my 20s. So hopefully you pass your classes though. At least you get. Hopefully you at least get your credits. That's what matters. I know how it is. It's rough. That's one of the reasons I haven't been able to do as much as I want to do. Well, hope you're staying safe out there, especially if you're in the States right now, because for the Hispanic community, Haitian community, everyone like that right now under duress because of the Trump administration, and hopefully you're staying safe out there, and your community is keeping you all safe and making sure you're all good. See here. But thanks for joining the stream, Funny Ice Cube. I think you're the only person here right now, so That does mean a lot. Yeah, nobody in the Twitch chat. Awesome. I know the guard was there for a little bit, but yeah. Awesome. Our where I live, our city actually signed one of the the 291, which lets them our police station acts as ICE. But we've been setting up networks for just keep an eye on things. So I can't say too much, but there's things being worked on, and hopefully we're not the only ones across where I am. I'm over on the southeast, so. But we'll stick together. We'll do what we got to do, and we'll get our people straight. Now let's see here. Let me see what's in my watch. I'm gonna see what's in my watch later, because that's probably what we'll go over for a little bit. Oh, I didn't even realize my vertical wasn't Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, I noticed that, and then that this all started coming together. I was like, that is very ironic. Wait, this is the wrong. Hold on. I gotta get into the right YouTube account. I need to stop being lazy and just like, if I need to switch. I have YouTube Premium for this account, but I'm like on my I'm on some relatives account, so I'm getting it for free. I need to put it on my this account, the one I do my actual streaming on, so I don't have interruptions. That's why, like, if you I don't know if you were here before the screen started, there was like I had music playing, the Sonic music, and then like it would just go into like a commercial in the background. I need to do that so it's uninterrupted as well. Hold on. 1 second. Hell yeah. Saros. I like watching some Saros. That's good stuff. I'm gonna have to watch that a little bit later. Let's see. And about to get up back and forth. The kid, it's like I gotta go help take care of the kids. Thank you. My wife, this is my wife's gaming chair. She kind of gave it to me because I had this green one actually, but then like it was a little bit like it was a little bit like it was cheap on the cheaper side. So like with my arm, I guess like I'd just be like leaning on it all the time and doing this, and the arm just fell off. But like the bolt underneath was like stripped, so I couldn't get the arm back on. So for a long time I just had like a armless gaming chair, and it didn't work out. So eventually, her mom works from home as well sometimes, so she let me have one. She got one for her, and she didn't want her. It just all worked out. So I have a gaming chair. Hopefully, I can get hopefully she wants this one back, because I like the pink being in here. It just sets the tone as well for everything, like my manga book collection and manga collection and all my figurines and stuff like that. So I like having the pink chair as well. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see what's at the bottom here. Yes. Chainsaw Man. Let's see what this is about. Or not. Hold on.
Good.
If you have any links you want to throw my way, I'm totally down to watch whatever. Yes, I am married. I know that is not usual for anime fans or terminally online people, but I somehow I scored, and she also is terminally online, so that is also a cool thing. I think, and we have 3 kids, but that's it. We've stopped there. There's no more. Don't have more kids than you have hands, because it will be a very hard time. Your brain will like split, and you'll be like, "I'm ever It's like the Mr. Krabs meme where he's all confused. But I love them. They're awesome. One must simply just what I would say, just tell the person or tell whoever you are interested in that you just like them or that you want to hang out with them. I think a lot of people have made a lot of dating things way more overcomplicated than it needs to be. But then again, when I was like that age, I totally made it that way. But I will say that the way everything has gotten now, like with incel stuff, and if I was at a certain age, like being like 16, if it was like, because I'm 34, so it would be like a whole different situation for me as well if I was born in like Gen Alpha or like late Gen Z, I think. So yeah. Ooh. The Boys final trailer, that's cool. Actually, let me see something. The Masked Man. Sure. I will do that. If you want to, let me see if I can go ahead and get you on Discord, and I can go ahead and hold on. I actually do have a Discord. I just need to get it up. I just need to get it more. It's been a while since because I made it when I first made the channel, and I've been on constant breaks, and it just makes it a lot harder to. But if we have a Discord, you can invite some people, add art, whatever you want to do. That'd be awesome. I would much appreciate it. Let me see. We'll watch something anime related right now, because to be honest, I have not gotten to watch as much anime as I wanted to, or anything anime related, because I've been like so focused on studying, and I would like to but something anime related that's not like too silly. You have anything you want to watch? You get anything on YouTube you want to watch, or we can go over something. No. I'm down for whatever. Next time I'm gonna probably bust out my Switch and we can play some games on here. Let's see here. I've been watching this like not it isn't anime related, but I've been in like this giant like rabbit hole on this site called Pixel Playback, and they go over all the consoles. Like consoles from the 90s, unheard consoles. Very, very nerdy. Very TISM coded, because that runs in my family. Pretty sure might have a little bit of TISM maybe on the spectrum. Two of my kids are. So okay, so I gotta get Smash. I have a Switch 2. I had Smash for a while on Switch 1, but when it first came out, no one was playing. There wasn't like really a lot of people like playing when it first came out back at 18 or 19, I don't remember when it came out. But like, I'm gonna have to buy it again, and it's like $30. So as soon as like, I'm not trying to get it for Christmas or something like that. Yeah. Also, what I'll probably start doing is putting my that'll be cool to set up on the Discord as well. Have game stuff go on and stuff like that. Hold on, my Discord's downloading, so I'll get that. We'll get back to that in a second. But do you have a Switch? What do you play? What are you gaming? What's going on? I need to get this Metroid Prime 4. Let's see. Honestly, let's see. Anime. Fall. What's coming out what's winter 26 looking like? Let's check this out. Let's check out what not winter 20. That'd be insane. Okay. Let's see what's going on. What's going on here?
私は一人私の好きな夜
Oh, I guess I'm that. Like, what the fuck?
Yep, winter 2026 is shaping up to be absolutely stacked. Sequels, finales, long-awaited returns, and even a few new dark horses ready to mess with our sleep schedules. Some shows are here to make you cry, some will melt your brain, and others will just look really, I
don't know if you have ever watched Trigun. If you ever watched Trigun, you need to. The original is really good, but I will say that Trigun, crap, what's the name of the new one? Well, it's in 3D and it's made by Orange Studio, but it's really good. And the sequel's coming out in like less than a month, I think, and it's about to be so awesome. So it's about to like, can't tell you, but
dive into the
just know
top
that
10 most anticipated
Trigun is
anime
awesome.
of winter 2026.
お兄ちゃん
その声あかり
お兄ちゃん
お前の妹
お兄ちゃん
1ヶ月前に死んでるだろうが
Picture this. You wake up to find your social media haunted. Literally. That's the wild premise of Dead Account, where ghosts possess the online accounts of the deceased and exorcists fight them in the digital realm. From the creator of the infamous death game manga Real Account, this series twists modern internet culture into a supernatural battlefield. So expect a timely action-packed...
So, about, like, this anime, it looked cool, but then, like, the characters don't look like they fit the tone. I don't know if that, like, makes sense. Like, it looked like that. Hey, there is a bunch of good anime out there. Let me see. What's something you can just start on that would be, like, fucking sick? I mean, Death Note, always a good one to watch. It's classic. And I mean, Reincarnate of Vending Machine. If I'm not gonna lie, like I'm sure that is very amusing. Like even if it's a silly premise, I'm sure that is. Some anime can be the silliest thing and be so amusing. So I'm not even gonna like. There's anime that takes itself way too seriously and is like lame. So I totally get it. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna put this in the chat. Kid Ego Media Hangout. I don't have much in there yet, so you're gonna have to bear with me. Yeah. I'll invite you to the server. And for anyone else who wants to be in it, is Kid Migo. Kid Migo. That would be awesome. Kid Migo. I like a lot of like isekai. That's the genre of like reincarnation. When they die and they go into another world. It's just gotten oversaturated, but there are some good ones that still come out. If you like that, I would suggest check out ReZero. That's a good anime. The dude dies and he gets reincarnated, but like he has a power where his power is literally like reset. So he dies and then like he just keeps dying and like he has to find out how to like not. Like when he dies, he'll go back like to the like if he makes like he'll make it's pretty much it'll give him checkpoints in that kind of way. He has a checkpoint, so he'll die, and then he'll have to like figure out like in a video game if you're like, all right, so this time I'm not going that way, like that kind of thing. But then it gets complicated and it's good. It can be a little droning sometimes. It all depends on what you like. But yeah, we may watch. what we'll have to do is, because we can watch anime, we just can't do it on YouTube. It would have to be on like Discord or like we could things like Twitch or TikTok. If they have a lot less of a strict they're not as strict with their what do you call it, copyright, like YouTube. YouTube will just destroy you with copyright, and that's just not something that you want to mess with, to be honest. All right, I'm gonna put this in I'm gonna put this into the chat. So hold on, bear with me. Go look myself up. Okay. You got Switch 1? There you go.
Commentary on streaming culture amid the Exorcist duels. The protagonist Soji is an online troll with a heart of gold. Just imagine Bakugo if he had a YouTube channel, who gets dragged into an occult adventure to save his sister. It's a battle shonen for the digital age, blending action and eerie commentary on our always online lives. The early trailers flaunt vibrant visuals and slick tech-infused exorcisms, looking as stylish as they are spooky. Dead Account might be sitting at number 10, but its concept is so
What's going on, Ello Sylvia 573? Welcome to the stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Right now we're watching the top 10 most anticipated winter anime for 2026. So this one's called Dead Account. I think it looks like it's gonna be an okay anime. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. You know, you don't have to watch every anime. This was what I was talking about. Trigun is. I would definitely recommend you watch that. If you're wanting to check out any anime, I know anime is still. I mean, it's super popular. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like, I get it. Not wanting to like watch anime. There can be some weird stuff in it. Hold on 1 second.
Poster fluttering in the breeze. Trigun Stargaze is coming in guns blazing. This is the final phase of the Trigun Stampede saga. Set a couple of
the last one was called Trigun Stampede, and this one's called Trigun
Studio Orange is back to flex its cutting-edge
Stargaze
animation for one last ride, and it looks downright stellar. They wowed us before, and early peaks suggest even crazier action scenes this time. Stampede's first season reinvented a classic, and now Stargaze promises to crank everything up to 11. We're talking bigger duels, heavier emotions, and even the long-awaited return of a beloved character. I've got goosebumps thinking about Vash and Knives settling their score under a sky full of stars. As someone who grew up with the original Trigun, seeing the story reach its climax in 2026 feels surreal and amazing. Trigun Stargaze didn't just continue the legend, it's aiming to end it with a bang.
Looks like it's gonna be great.
Before we continue, I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsors of this video, Honkai Star Rail, a cinematic
ethical stream. We have to let this dude get his cash, even though he's pushing this ridiculous. I don't know.
Strategy, story, and stunning visuals that make
these
every
games
battle
really pretty
feel
shady.
like an anime episode.
Like money
and
grabs.
now, version 3.7 takes things up a notch. We're heading back to Amphorius with the
But I know that's how this dude
arrival
makes his
of
money, so we
Cyrene,
gotta watch
the
it.
Ice Remembrance support whose abilities revolve around love, hope, and devastating true damage combos. Pair her with Castoris, Hyacine, or the Trailblazer for some freeze and shatter chaos. First half reruns bring Castoris, Tribi, and Hyacine from November the 5th to the 26th, followed by Finon, Cypher, and My Day from November the 26th.
Hey, I would ask to copyright this
New
out.
players get 10 free special passes.
They probably want that moolah. If we can get some moolah, you know, maybe we can convince them to let us like watch whatever we want to watch on the stream, you know. But until then, we're just gonna be stuck watching 10-second clips before they copyright us. And
because the galaxy's calling, and this ride's only getting wilder.
あなたはこんな醜悪な場にふさわしくはない。明日も明後日も
Oh, yeah.
Every anticipated anime this winter.
Zenless Zone Zero. Yeah, I played that for a little bit. Not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie.
It follows a
Your boy ain't gonna lie on that one.
novelist Makio, who impulsively takes in her 15-year-old niece Asa after a tragic loss. The catch: Makio is so unsociable that Asa likens her to a witch in the journal she keeps of their new life together. This award-winning josei manga was beloved enough to top Japan's yearly manga rankings, and it's finally getting the anime treatment. Studio Shuka and director Miyuki Oshiro are bringing it to life with a soundtrack by Kensuke Yoshio, the genius behind A Silent Voice and Chainsaw Man's haunting tones. The result promises to be a gentle, introspective tale about two very different people learning to understand each other. After all the hype and action of other shows, I'm genuinely looking forward to a quiet, beautiful story that might just leave me a sobbing mess in the best possible way. For all the explosive shonen out there, this feels like a warm hug for the soul.
孤独な女王に出会ったのだ。私は一人。私の好きな夜。
パンフレット買った？ポップコーン持った？
Okay, this came out last year. Like, one episode came out, and it was supposed to come out like every week last January, and then they just like it just disappeared. Like, it's really good. Fate has like so many like iterations, but like I would say like Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, and Fate Unlimited Blade Works, and the 3 movies, the Heaven's Feel movies, are really good. But then this one was coming out, and it was like awesome. And then like one episode came out, and then like nothing.
Another Holy Grail war is about to kick off, and this one might be the wildest yet. Fate Strange Fake isn't your typical Fate spin-off. It's a twisted recreation of the Grail War, this time set in a lawless American city where every rule gets bent. After that one episode special teased us back in 2024, we've been starving for the full series, and finally, it's here.
I think the first episode's actually on
two of my favorite series, Bakano and Durara. This series promises chaos, charisma, and combat that breaks every expectation.
The first episode of this is actually
like Gilgamesh and Enkidu are set to return, but the newcomers, they look even more unhinged. The animation looks slick, and you bet I'm ready for absurd, over-the-top, noble phantasms and impossible duels. I've been a Fate diehard for years, and Strange Fake feels like the series that finally embraces its own madness. Bring on the mind games, the mayhem, and the moment we finally find out just how fake this Holy Grail war really is.
Cause I'm pretty sure there's like a what do you call it? There was like a preview and everything. Wait, here it is. Here's the sneak peek. This shit's crazy. Wait. Yeah. Hopefully this doesn't to get the stream nuked, but whatever.
Set.
So sneak peek. Like, I don't know why they would do that. Because pretty much in Fate, like, there's a Holy Grail war every, I think like 100 years or whatever. But then like what happens is like different families have like taken on like like a person from the family will summon like a hero from like myth. You can get like anybody from like you can get anybody, Gilgamesh, like King Arthur and Excalibur, like and they're just like duking it out. Whoever wins gets the Holy Grail, and they get whatever wish they want. It's sick. It's really sick. Yeah. Fates. Where is that? Yeah, me too. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Like that, it's sick, man. But pretty much they're like sorcerers. But like, if you're the person who summons you, because you're like connected, it's like your it's pretty much like a glorified. Let's just say it's a Pokemon battle. But if your person who summons you dies, then you also disappear. Generally, there's been exceptions, but Like this dude's summoning his hero. This is Gilgamesh. And they have these ultimate moves, like boss move. Like all of them have their own special like move called like Noble Phantasm. And like it'll be like one of the things from like the lore of like that hero. Like Gilgamesh has like I forget what it's called, but like he'll have like all these swords just like they'll probably show it. I'm like you think you could take on Gilgamesh? You think you could take on King Arthur? Is that what you're telling me? See? This dude's arm he didn't even The Gilgamesh don't play around though. Like this dude summoned him and then she just took over. I think it's just showing everyone getting summoned though. I am so ready for that. Like she took his hand. Oh yeah, and you got a seal. That seal is what connects you to him, to your hero. That's why she took that hand. She could have taken any hand, but she couldn't take any hand. That Gilgamesh is kind of hot. Like I ain't gonna front. Yeah, that dude sucks. Yeah, I know. That dude, not crispy dude. This dude, Gilgamesh. This is like he's in like all of them actually. The ones I've watched. But I'm not a Fate like expert. But now look at this dude. And he's kind of a douche. See, now she's yeah, Fate's awesome.
その聖杯戦争とやらは聖杯と名の付く者が権限する可能性があるならば我々は踏み込まざるを得ないだからどうしても参加したいんですよ教授アメリカで始まるっていう聖杯戦争にフラット君はどうして聖杯を求める
That dude with the long hair is actually he was a kid in like one of the other ones and he's like grown up
サーバントは全部で7機だいいえ全部で6機ですよ私は自身が何者なのかただそれを知りたいのだ
ありがとうあなたがここにお父さんたちを呼んでくれたんだね
怪我し怪我し怪我し怪我し怪我すそれ以上の快楽がどこにあるこれから始まる偽りの聖杯戦争ねありがとう契約は成立した
Now this shit's gonna be awesome.
俺の仕事は英雄を生み出すことだ決して俺自身は英雄なんかじゃない
クランカラフィ今日から君たちのコードネームのようなものになると思ってくれたまえ君たちは正義だ
もしかして自分たちが正義だって本気で思ってるのこの壮大な詐欺を仕掛けた側にいるあなたが
But this is like twisted because they've kind of forced a fake Holy Grail war to happen. So it's like not even supposed to be happening.
性能を比べることができるなんて。そうだな。この時代風に言うならフルスロットルで行くよ、キル。
Damn, that is fucking awesome. No, this just goes hard. Like, this is one of my favorite animes. Like, just breaking the fucking dirt, like the dimension. Yep. That's why, like, that was such a. That's what's crazy about this is that, like, that was supposed to come out last January, and like it was like, all right, episode 1, and they had production issues, and it just disappeared for the rest of the year, which is cool, but. If they, I felt like they knew that they weren't gonna be able to, but that was not tenable before the year started. But hell yeah! Thank you for indulging me with that. That was awesome. I just want to watch that again because that's one of my that's gonna be awesome. Coming summer 2023. Not. Excuse me. Let's see here. I we're watching but that is why I had to be like, I want to watch that. That's one of that show goes really hard.
私は一人。私の好きな夜。
パンフレット買った？ポップコーン持った？さあ、始まり。
Fate fans, assemble. Another Holy Grail War is about to kick off, and this one might be the wildest yet. Fate Strange Fake isn't your typical Fate spin-off. It's a twisted recreation of the Grail War, this time set in a lawless American city where every rule gets bent. After that one-episode special teased us back in 2024, we've been starving for the full series, and finally, it's here. Written by Ryogo Narita, the mad genius behind two of my favorite series, Bakano and Durara, this series promises chaos, charisma, and combat that breaks every expectation. Familiar faces like Gilgamesh and Enkidu are set to return, but the newcomers, they look even more unhinged. The animation looks slick, and you bet I'm ready for absurd, over-the-top noble phantasms and impossible duels. I've been a Fate diehard for years, and Strange Fake feels like the series that finally embraces its own madness. Bring on the mind games, the mayhem, and the moment we finally find out just how fake this Holy Grail War really is.
私ずっと気になってたの。ヒューマン人なのってどんな感じ？やっぱり私たちとは。
What the hell?
僕も不思議に思ってる。
Half human, half chimpanzee, and 100% one of the most intriguing premises of the season. The Darwin incident follows Charlie, a boy born from a lab experiment who's trying to live an ordinary high school life, despite literally being a human.
I'm sorry, but he lives on Earth. There's no way at this moment, if he lives in the 2000s, he's gonna have a normal life. Just sorry.
Hybrid. Of course, society doesn't make it easy for him. An extremist animal rights group wants to exploit Charlie as their symbol, and their terrorist acts start turning everyone's lives upside down. This manga earned massive acclaim for its sharp social commentary and thriller edge. Now, as an anime, it's poised to be that rare series that gets you thinking about evolution, ethics, and what makes us human, while also delivering some heart-pounding suspense. Think Planet of the Apes meets a coming-of-age story, but grounded in real moral tension. Personally, I'm fascinated to see how the Darwin incident handles such a sensitive, high-concept story, and if executed well, this could be the dark horse hit of winter 2026 that everyone ends up talking about.
僕は何の代弁者でもない。ただの一匹の動物。ただのチャーリーだよ。
If you're enjoying this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel in case you're new here. Thanks. Time for the next entry.
I want to like this show so bad. But this is a character that always falls out of her clothes, and I'm just like,
Part 2 prepares to blaze onto the screen, and this time
it's the
finale.
This final
can't adapt the manga's last arcs, leading to a climactic showdown between Company 8 and the Evangelist that promises to literally set their world on fire. All our favorite pyro heroes are in play. Shinra is ready to release his full Devil's Footprints, and even Arthur looks poised to pull off something legendary in the battle to come.
It looks amazing, but
top-tier fights with Sakuga so far, so I'm expecting the animation to go full supernova for these closing episodes. Beyond the inferno of action, there's emotional weight here too. This is the end of the road for the 8th, and long-held mysteries will finally ignite into resolution. As someone who's followed Shinra's journey from the start, I'm equal parts hyped and wistful. But one thing's certain, Fire Force's last ride is gonna be hot in every sense of the word.
Yeah, I mean, the animation looks stellar, but you know, just can't get into it. Look at this.
In this world, hero isn't a title of honor, it's a life sentence. Sentenced to be a hero takes a party of death row criminals and forces them to fight on the front lines against the Demon King's army. Dying on the battlefield won't even set them free, because they'll just be resurrected to continue the carnage. It's basically Suicide Squad meets high fantasy, and it only gets crazier from there. The squad's leader, Xylo, who was jailed for killing a goddess, and when he ends up forging a contract with a new one, their doomed fate might finally shift. This dark fantasy adaptation has cult hit written all over it. Expect bloody battles, desperate characters, and some twisted takes on the hero trope. Studio Kai is behind the wheel, so fingers crossed for slick animation to match the novel's intense action. I'm a sucker for stories that flip heroism on its head, and this looks ready to deliver a gritty, no-holds-barred adventure. Sign me up for this penal quest.
Okay, I've been waiting for this anime for like almost a year. Damn. Finally.
That gorgeous but deadly island of man-eating flowers and immortal weirdos? We're heading back. Hell's Paradise Season 2 returns us to the nightmare paradise of Shinsenkyo for another round of beautifully animated slaughter. Gabimaru the Hollow and his ragtag allies are still on the hunt for the elixir of life, and the horrors they faced in Season 1 were just the appetizer. Expect more grotesque monsters, trippy landscapes, and oh-so-satisfying ninja battles as the mystery of this island
this is gonna
deepens.
be awesome!
Visuals were stunning last time, elegant cherry blossoms one moment, entrails the next, and I have zero doubt they'll up the ante with new fights and foes that are absolute nightmares. What I love about Hell's Paradise is how it balances its serene beauty with utter brutality, and Season 2 looks to continue that bloody poetry. Honestly, I'm both excited and a little terrified exactly how this should make you feel.
Hell yeah. Oh, so ready for Frieren Season 2.
A year ago, Frieren Beyond Journey's End came out of nowhere and quietly stole the hearts of anime fans. Now our favourite elf mage is returning for Season 2, and I couldn't be happier. Frieren's story of reflecting on life after the adventure has only just begun. She, along with her young companions Fern and Stark, will continue their journey north in search of answers, closure, and maybe a few more spells to collect. If it's anything like the first season, we can expect more gorgeous, melancholic moments sprinkled with
I gotta rewatch Frieren because like Frieren's just so good.
Contemplative tone, turning quiet character interactions into some of the most emotional scenes I've ever seen in a fantasy anime. I'm ready to be gently broken by Frieren's introspective journey all over again. In the midst of all the hype and chaos of winter 2026, this is the show I plan to savor slowly. Calm, bittersweet adventure that lingers long after it ends.
早々のフリーレン第2期
とんでもねえ記録量だ話は終わり
Was there ever any doubt? Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 is coming, and the hype levels are through the roof. After the absolute insanity of last season's Shibuya
Season 2 is about to be
the
insane.
Story is about to escalate
Season 3, I mean.
further, this time into the dreaded Culling Game arc, a citywide deathmatch of sorcerers that will push our heroes past their limits. Yuji, Megumi, Yuta, Maki, everyone is in for the fight of their lives as curses run rampant and long-laid plans come to fruition. Looking at you, Genjaku. For manga readers, this arc is legendary, packed with some of the wildest battles and biggest emotional punches in the series. We're talking new domain expansions left and right, and showdowns that might even out crazy what we've already seen. Studio Mappa's animation team has been on fire, so you can bet every punch, slash, and black flash will be jaw-droppingly brutal. JJK has basically become a modern shonen titan, and Season 3 might just cement it as one for the ages.
I'm ready.
And that's my list of the top 10 most anticipated winter anime. So, how about it? Do our thoughts match? I know there's a lot to shortlist on, so share your most anticipated winter anime in the comments, and I'll be sure to
I
check
think that
it
you did a
out.
really
And
good job on
If
that.
you enjoyed this video, give it a like
Let's
so that
see
I know.
here.
Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to be
Yeah,
updated every
ViniTube
time I upload.
does get work.
Thank you. I'll see you in the next one.
Okay, let's see. Kind of want that
私は一人私の好きな
I've had the pleasure of reading some weird and confusing stuff, so I'm not just... There's that moment when observing an individual where we go, yep, he's lost it. There'd be Antonio Brown, Kanye for the 12th time this week, or Fujimoto, who you could argue never really had it. But today I want to talk about a
Fujimoto's never had it.
one-of-a-kind mangaka, creator of One Punch Man and Mob Psycho 1, and his current series Bug Ego. Bug Ego is an ongoing manga with around 14 chapters, originally a one-shot that was continued due to its positive reception. This manga is a comedy, horror, mystery, slice-of-life, supernatural, Vietnamese seinen. It's wild to think Girls Frontline 2 Exilium has already hit its
Vietnamese
first anniversary, and to celebrate, they've dropped the massive first anniversary major update, including Deep Oblivion and Intertwined Assault. Whether you're a new player returning after a long break, joining during the first anniversary is the perfect time. They're giving out over 130
I don't think that was about the game.
13,000 collapse pieces, 2 free skins, and a ton of extra rewards just for logging in. Girls Frontline 2 Exilium is a sleek 3D strategy RPG, a mix of tactical combat, sci-fi storytelling, and detailed character interactions. And the big addition this time is the crew deck, a fully 3D interactive hub where you can explore the armory, hang out in the lounge, and unlock new interactive story scenes like Macchiato's Pulse Racing Night. Claim via mail for free. 35 permits are provided to help unlock the outfit and its interactive story. And yes, you can literally apply sunscreen lotion to Klukai in her interactive scene. They went all in on the immersion. They've also added 2 new dolls, Leva and Lena, both electric specialists from Squad 404. Leva converts excess stability damage into lightning, while Lena empowers the field with voltage tiles, so the two of them together can wipe out a battlefield in seconds. There will also be a Mechty and Andorus rerun and a new doll Robella on December 18th. On top of that, the update brings free outfits like Shihua, Dragon Chef, and Springfield Enjoy the Fragrance, and limited time discount outfits for Andorus, Leva, and Lena. Plus a new motorcycle combat minigame called Speed Blitz. And visually, the game is running a non-photorealistic rendering art style
Okay.
built on PBR tech, giving everything this clean, animated look that still feels grounded and dynamic. So if you want to check out the first anniversary major update, download Girls Frontline 2 Exilium using my link or QR code on the
That's
screen.
a lot of
and start
content,
claiming your
if
rewards
you know what I mean.
today. A kind but slightly dumb Hitsujiya just transferred to this school and befriends Kokudo. Hitsujiya tries putting Kokudo on a game about life hacks, little things he used to do back when he was bullied to make his life easier, like using the faculty bathroom to avoid problematic students or copying homework. And despite the other students telling him not to get involved with Kokudo, he wants to show him everything he knows to help out. Kokudo tells him to meet him after school to show him some real hacks, like using a vending machine that causes bird poop to appear on the ground. Of course, Hitsujiya is like, ah, yeah, right. And then he tries it for himself. He's like, holy shit. To the 3 people from Vietnam who watch me, I sorely apologize. But they try even more hacks, like making someone have an upset stomach, or even reverse time by doing a dance naked during the solar eclipse, which Hitsuji tries, but it doesn't work. And it ruins his life. Decades later, now homeless, he encounters Kokudo and believes he was set up, but it turns out he did the dance wrong, and so he must...
That's awesome.
Do it again, which he does and it works. All of that is just chapter 1, by the way. In the next chapter, they try a hack for lucid dreams, and Kokudo is able to experience wonderful dreams from his imagination, and Hitsujiya finds himself crucified, tortured, and persecuted. So
I gotta watch this. I gotta read this. This seems awesome.
Kokudo tries to help him, but then that dream is invaded by an intruder. And this is when the horror elements really start to kick in. Like, what a jump from the previous chapter, with Kokudo displaying great friendship as he jumps back in the dream to help Hitsujiya defeat the intruder by turning him into something straight out of a child's drawing. Only for the mom to then see the both of them sleeping in the same bed. Look, for those of you that aren't as familiar with me or the channel's history, consider yourself lucky. That's actually a really good thing. But I've been doing this for a little bit, and I've had the pleasure of reading some weird and confusing stuff. So I'm not just saying this for the fucking hell of it. But after a while, you do notice there are levels to it. Sure, Dandaran and Chainsaw Man are weird, but put a gun to a Dorohedoro fan's head and ask them to explain Kaiman first try. Trojan X and Fool's Night are 2 newer manga that are as weird as they are beautiful at times. And then there's stuff like the Nido Exorcist. JoJo's, despite how mainstream it is pretty out there. Like, let's not get it twisted.
JoJo's weird as hell. Like, it's not called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for no damn reason.
Anonymous, fucking Gantz, and vampires for some reason. This series isn't nearly as dark as the last few I listed, but Bug Ego is already one of the strangest manga out there. And if you're familiar with Mob Psycho, you know one can get a little freaky, but how do you even come up with this? And more importantly, how do you make it work? It only gets more bizarre from here, but more beautiful as you see the friendship between these two grow more, and then more people get involved. The comedy is really good, and so is the mystery element behind the hacks on the notebook detailing them. So each individual chapter so far has been fun, but there isn't a lack of tension that helps to keep things moving at a good pace. And I'm going to talk more about one of the chapters later, but I do think series that tend to approach the comedic and get serious out of nowhere approach tend to have a really strong impact because you're there for something completely different, and so it just absolutely blows your expectations out of the water and gives you something you weren't entirely looking for, versus when a series takes itself too seriously, you then have really high expectations which it might fail to meet, unfortunately. The 2 other chapters that really stood out in my brain and still stand out are chapters 3 and 6, with chapter 3 pushing the horror and psychological tag pretty far, with Hitsujiya and other students going on a field trip for a report. We also see the person that invaded the dream, a man called Suzufuji. The story makes a slight remark about him, and so it's possible that he plays a larger role in the story, but we'll have to see. But yeah, the art by Kyoto Shitara is so dope. I tried looking him up and other works that he's done, and he did a delinquent series called Kitagi Moroshi, but other than that...
Okay, we'll have to check that out too.
Nothing too noticeable outside of...
I do want to actually get into reading manga more on the stream. Like, I'm going to have to start doing that, because there are a lot of manga that, like, I really want to get into, and sometimes I, like, wish that I, like, could record my, like, reactions to them. That'd be really cool.
Another romance
there are a lot of cool ones
a
in there.
while ago. But yeah, his art is really,
Dude,
really
this dude's
dope.
art's insane.
This page in particular, I
One always finds the best people to draw.
I know the person who put me on, Ryolgo, is going to use it on his video. Shout out to my boy, by the way. He was actually one of the ones at the Yu Yu Hakusho watch party. But H-Man over here sees a weird wooden mask and remembers the warning in the book, only to find himself trapped in hell, it seems, while the version of him walking in the real world is beefing with this buff guy, and he sees him as a pathetic child but ends up getting floored. No, wait, I think I have that backwards. The guy punches him so hard that a part of him finds himself in the mask now while something else is taking over his body. Yeah, I think that's how it works. This does continue into chapter 4 with a pretty funny but insane conclusion. Now, chapter 6, I won't delve into, since I really want all of you to, like, read it. So go and read it. But I thought it was such a pretty chapter and beautiful character exploration. It was the moment where I knew I was going to recommend this manga. But each chapter has been an absolute blast, and a much needed break after reading the 80 chapters of Hitman Reborn, and not just 80 chapters, like the first 80 chapters, which the last 30 of those were all right. The first 50, oh dear fucking Christ. But what really sells Bug Ego for me is how effortlessly one mixes tones. Most manga kind of struggle with that, going from comedy to horror without feeling your expectations, your sense of safety, your view of reality. So amongst the other series that I would highly recommend if you're looking for good, newer, ongoing series, Chojin X, Benito Exorcist, Fool's Night, and Bug Ego. Bug Ego because anything could happen, and every chapter something insane could happen, and it's just a blast reading it, and I could see it building up a good, newer, ongoing series. Chojin X.
Gonna be reading Chojin X.
Benito Exorcist, Fool's Night, and Bug Ego. Bug Ego because anything could happen, and every chapter something insane could happen.
Why not?
It's
Why
just
Bug
a
Ego?
blast reading it, and I could see it building up into something absolutely epic. And I really am excited for this. So even though I think 1 has kind of lost it, it's a good example of losing it. It feels like he's experimenting in real time, like reading a creator who's genuinely having fun, and I felt that way with Sui Ishida working on Chojin X. The notebook of hacks keeps expanding, the characters keep growing, and that underlying mystery keeps tightening even when the story looks like it's going completely off the rails. Oh, shout out to the cute soda can mascot, by the way, I almost forgot. You get the sense
There's a soda can mascot.
They can suddenly drop a chapter that changes everything, and you don't want to miss out on that. And the groundwork has been there since page 1, really. I was in VC with a buddy, and when trying to describe it to him in short words, I just said, it's like a story you made in 5th grade, but you picked it up again as an adult and made it amazing. If the first 14 chapters are any indication, Bug Ego might quietly be one's most interesting project since Mob Psycho.
Damn,
and if you're
Mob
into
Psycho's
bizarre,
amazing.
unsettling, heartfelt storytelling, you owe it to yourself to check it out.
Yeah, you gotta watch Mob Psycho. And y'all gotta subscribe to The Masked Man. He's a really good creator. One of my favorites. I've learned about a lot of manga because of him. But yeah, tonight was just gonna be a short stream. Probably gonna call it a night. Actually, no. I'm gonna go for another 30 minutes. What am I doing? Let's see. Okay, let's see what we're doing right here. I feel like I have another playlist somewhere.
If a couple's got marital problems, let's keep it real, it's probably the wife's fault. But that might seem a little bit suspicious for me to say that. A guy blaming a woman, of course. If only we had a little bit of cover, huh, guys? Maybe if we could get a woman...
Wow. Yeah, you can watch that. But anywho. Hold on. We're getting to another video. If y'all just want to wait, hold on. I'm just looking for the perfect video to watch with you because I know. Okay, let's see. I think next stream I'm gonna go over FD Signifier's video about. Actually, let's watch some of this. We'll also have like 30 minutes. Oh, this is only 11 minutes.
Brown Girl Tea with Pri, where we discuss topics from a brown girl perspective. And today, if you're curious, I'm having a caramel hoji.
And now we're gonna get into the politics part of this bad boy.
The lack of POC representation and blatant racism that we see in the anime community is absolutely not a new phenomenon. But every so often I find it's a discussion that gets resurfaced when things get taken to the extreme, as we've seen recently with the tragic and unnecessary loss of the black non-binary cosplayer Ash, or when certain creators like Joey the Anime Man are completely unaware of their privilege. So welcome to Brown Girl Tea.
Not to mention they've been completely misgendering them.
Pri, where we discuss topics from a brown girl perspective. And today, if you're curious, I'm having a caramel hojicha, which is, it is amazing. So grab your beverage of choice and let's get started by talking about why this is a problem in the community and why I think this keeps happening. So many of these issues related to race and representation in the anime community can be tied back to the aesthetics of anime. Chun Park, an academic, wrote this really insightful article, and in it they discuss whether Japanese anime characters appearing as white or presenting as white is actually just something that is projected onto it from Western culture. And to support this claim, they make
Sorry, y'all. I'm just checking to see if this is still going. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, never mind. Oh, it's still streaming. Okay.
Two really insightful points that I think are worth discussing. The first one is that when you compare the most traditional styles of Western art and anime, most of the time the features are incredibly similar. And secondly, that when characters who are not Japanese or white in this case appear on screen, for example those from Northeast Asian descent, or just those who have any non-white features, there's a clear hierarchy in how they're portrayed. More often than not, they're seen as lesser than those whitewashed or more Japanese characters. And as I've seen online, the argument against that is that Japanese people probably don't view these characters as white. They probably
That's a good. I liked where this is going.
View them as inherently Japanese. But Park argues that this Japanese perception of anime characters as being intrinsically Japanese is a collective defense mechanism to the potential accusation of racism and whitewashing against anime. Any smart Japanese person would know that the whitewashing of Japanese anime characters must be denied for anime to become accepted into the global market, which the West currently dominates. And what then happens in Western anime spaces is that this whitewashing turns into faux objectivity. So what I mean by that is when you then hear people talking about BIPOC cosplayers not being accurate to the source material, or they aren't doing the cosplay right or correctly just because of the color of their skin. So then because of this cultural misinterpretation and representation in the anime community can be tied back to the aesthetics of anime. Chun Park, an academic, wrote this really insightful article, and in it they discuss whether Japanese anime characters appearing as white or presenting as white is actually just something that is projected onto it from Western culture. And
oh hell no. Those are not Japanese characters. They're always white. I mean, the little Naruto's blonde. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love me some Naruto, but he's blonde and he has blue eyes. Do you know any Asian people with blonde and blue eyes? Just gonna ask, especially any Japanese people.
And to support this claim, they make two really insightful points that I think are worth discussing. The first one is that when you compare the most traditional styles of Western art and anime, most of the time the features are incredibly similar. And secondly, that when characters who are not Japanese or white in this case appear on screen, for example those from Northeast Asian descent or just those who have any non-white features, there's a clear hierarchy in how they're portrayed. More often than not, they're seen as lesser than those whitewashed or more Japanese characters. And as I've seen online, the argument against that is that Japanese people probably don't view these characters as white, they probably view them as inherently Japanese.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we know that that's not true because we've seen how people act when it comes down to, you know, cosplaying and whatnot. So, I don't know.
But Park argues that this Japanese perception of anime characters as being intrinsically Japanese is a collective defense mechanism to the potential accusation of racism and whitewashing against anime. Any smart Japanese person would know that the whitewashing of Japanese anime characters must be denied for anime to become accepted into the global market.
Yeah, because like you have to make it Western looking or white looking so that people, because that's the default. They're going to be called Japanese cartoons. That's why people. I guarantee you, if anime came over here like it did in the 30s, where they still drew a lot of the Japanese people in the actual animation as you know, their eyes were actually like Japanese people, or they had Japanese features, then they would not be the same. They would not have the same reaction. Not have the same reaction. They would not be as big as it is now. Westerners would not be buying into it like they are now,
which the West currently dominates. And what then happens in Western anime spaces is that this whitewashing turns into faux objectivity. So what I mean by that is when you then hear people talking about BIPOC cosplayers not being accurate to the source material,
exactly,
or they aren't doing the cosplay right.
Yep, exactly. So then you get, then that reinforces that like racism, because people are already being, so people who are even like, I don't know, people who are even on the right side of things are going to be like pushing that false narrative about, oh, well, they're not Japanese, but that also like, then why are they? Then why do people know that it's not? Why do people associate it with Western with Westernness? Then why do they associate these characters with white? Because they are white. It's pretty simple. And I'm not saying that anime is not awesome. I'm not saying anime is not awesome. There's not good stories, but we do have to realize why all the characters are mostly white and not even Japanese.
Or correctly, just because of the color of their skin. So then, because of this cultural misinterpretation and whitewashing, whiteness is then seen as the pinnacle for what that character would look like if you took it out of that fictional space and put it into the real world. And to use a disgusting modern day reference for this, Annie, the ex-grok bot, whatever the fuck she is, she's marketed as an antidote specifically to woke culture. And if we're looking at those corners of the anime community where people like this live, therefore I think you can look at her as what the pinnacle of that community want. They want the waifu coded, light-skinned as possible aesthetics to project onto. And
blonde. What did I say?
You could argue that she functions as a case study to allow people to enjoy these cultural aesthetics without having to think about anything related to the real world. And that, I think, is the core of the representation problem and where it all starts from, because anime isn't politically neutral, but it gives people this stylized aesthetic to hide behind and to then use as a measure of projected whiteness onto people like us. So I think another part of this discussion that we don't often talk about is actually the emotional impact on BIPOC fans, and that might seem kind of obvious when there's a lot of discussion in the air right now, particularly around Ash's tragic passing. I think we just hear that it's bad, and then unfortunately we don't see these things until they're too late. So I'm going to attempt to articulate this issue using my own personal experiences as well. So I remember cosplaying at my first ever Comic-Con when I was 13, and I immediately remember having the thought...
Now, I'm not trying to be that way, but this is why I think that you gotta have separate spaces in this kind of situations. Like if there mixed places that have mixed people who are gonna be cool cosplaying, that's fine. But if people don't want us in their spaces, we don't need to be in their spaces. there's no reason to be in a space that's gonna smell musty anyways. Let's just be honest. You know you're gonna be around a bunch of white people who ain't really taking baths, who ain't really bathing. I ain't trying to. You know it. You know it. Everyone's been to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. A bunch of musty ass niggas is there. They're all musty. So I'm just gonna put it that way.
That I had already internalized that I did not look like any of the characters that I had seen on screen in any of the animes that I had watched. For context, I am a shoujo girly. And obviously, yeah, none of them are looking like this. And so when I actually really wanted to cosplay a shoujo girly, I decided to cosplay Nier from Death Note. Because I was like, he is closest to my skin color, and I will feel better knowing that I am being accurate. And interestingly enough, I have these conversations so often with one of my other friends who is mixed race. And I feel like oftentimes when you're brown, you're almost not even considered to be part of those conversations. And I think if you're a person of color more generally in the anime community, you can often feel gaslit by this weaponized accuracy. And it doesn't even come from white people in the community.
It's true. When I was younger, I felt that way. But now I'm like, nah, people be racist. Fuck them. Like, there's no reason to try to like embrace races or beg Japanese people to put. There are a lot of anime artists, and manga artists who are drawing black people. Good, awesomely. We don't have to keep begging them. They don't want to. We just got to start. There, we have things like Saturday AM. We can start supporting things like that. We got to make our own stories. Mafenda, which is a Japanese studio that's working with MAPPA. Was working with the what is it? The same studio that Pluto, and they're going to be putting out a anime that's based on the Congo. We don't have to keep taking this abuse.
Said it can come internally. And that's where I feel like creators like Joey the Anime Man come into this conversation as well, because it's just playing into this othering narrative that one set of fans is better than the other. So even if to him it's not that deep when he calls people anime tourists or refuses to acknowledge that one of the biggest animes in the world that is clearly political is political, as a person of color, you're then like, oh, okay, because your existence within that fandom, whether you like it or not, and your existence as a person of color, as we all know, is political by nature, and that's something that we don't get to choose. And if you don't know, the cosplay...
Oh, look, my skin, it makes me political, automatically. Like, I can just be existing and people are gonna say some shit. She knows. She just said that.
Yeah, Ash, unfortunately, decided to unalive themselves because they were receiving so much racist hate online from their cosplays simply because they were black, which is so horrible to say out loud. But on the Reddit post discussing their passing, someone actually mentioned something that shocked me. They said, racism is a massive problem with the larger cosplay community as a whole though. We have a convention near me called Colossal Con. A group was going to do a panel called Cosplaying While Black to discuss microaggressions and how to handle being a cosplayer of color in a
This is part of my otaku
The whole panel
video.
got scrapped with the anime convention organizers basically saying it was because the topic was too serious and that this was a party convention.
That's what white people do. There's literally like the band Portugal the Man from Alaska. They'll bring like indigenous people on to talk about the land, and they'll be like, and then people will be like commenting on like anytime. They'll be like, I went to a Portugal the Man show and there were angry Native Americans screaming at me before my show. It made me feel bad that I was standing on stolen land. It's like, yeah, bro, shut up, listen. Maybe you won't feel bad if you do something about the stolen land you're on.
And that is essentially what it's like to be a person of color in this space. Because even when, for example, in the case of Ash, you're trying to carve out that niche for yourself, you're trying to make that space for yourself, or in the case of...
But that's what I'm saying. That panel would have happened if it wasn't a space that was black owned or BIPOC owned, not just a white space that they allow black people to be in. Like, you can't, or they allow brown people to be in. You can't, it's not gonna work if there's no actual infrastructure that we own or anything to call our own.
These people who wanted to have that panel, you either end up being told that you can't do it because there isn't a space for it, even though you're trying to make the space, which is the terrible contradiction, or you try and make that space and then you're just encountered with so much resistance and hate that you're then like, okay, why am I even doing this? And the other level to this that I feel like not many people talk about is that even if you have supportive POC in the comments, they might have been conditioned to the point where they feel like their voices aren't as important, so then they might not want to comment because they
that is always going to be that is a very big deal in organizing in any space that we're dealing with, because a lot of people have already been conditioned to think they don't have a voice, which is not true.
They might not only be scared of getting abused themselves, but they also just haven't been told that their voices are as important. Now, if you're an intelligent person watching this, which I'm sure you are, we already know where to go from here, right? We already know what we want. We want good representation. We want more POC representation. We want people to not be racist. So I want to talk about some examples where representation has actually been done well as an antidote to all of this. Even though I have not seen this anime, I came across this character called Mika from Licorice Recoil.
Licorice Recoil.
Is a black father figure and also is gay. Maybe I shouldn't say it like that in the context of this video. We need some lightheartedness, okay? And in this video, the creator talks about why he is a great form of representation, diving deep into his character backstory. But I feel like this comment articulates it best. Where they say he's a detailed, genuine, and likable character. It's the first step towards proper representation. And that is obviously what we need more of. Carol and Tuesday, I felt like that's popped up recently, is also a really great example of representation, even though I also didn't watch the full thing. And I think it's important to remember that point. We're taking these steps towards representation, right? And whilst we shouldn't accept that anime,
like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I've seen like better steps towards representation in anime than I've seen in like Hollywood. So I'm just gonna, let's just be honest.
And the anime community are just like this, and we're only ever gonna get these morsels and little crumbs of representation. It's also really important to remember that this whole discussion, the aesthetics of anime and representation, are all on a sliding scale. And an interesting case study for this that I watched recently, right, is an anime called Betrothed to My Sister's Ex, which, if you haven't watched it, oh, it was so good. Now, the main love interest in that is actually a brown man and a brown prince. And his homeland is essentially this mishmash of, like, oriental views of brown people. You know what I mean? He's got a few different elements mixed together. It's like Romanian, maybe a little bit of Turkish backgrounds, a little bit of sort of Indian backgrounds as well. But it's not really grounded in any real-world representation. So normally, that means you put it on this end of the spectrum, right, where it's bad. But because he was such a detailed and loving and well-portrayed character, the more I watched this anime, the more I was like, absolutely, we need more characters like this. And especially as someone who has never, ever seen brown men well represented in anime, I literally could only think of two examples, right? Which was the prince from Black Butler, which was somewhat grounded in historical context, and let's be real, was boring and annoying as fuck. And then the other one that I found as an example was a character called Krishna Ramesh, which I was like, come on, could you literally, this is a J.K. Rowling level name from some kind of tennis anime, and he only came into the series in like chapter 47 of the manga. I'm like, come on now, where are the main characters at? And as much as I dislike the idea that we need to separate ourselves as fans in order to get like basic safety and like joy and belonging, it is still important to remember
What did I say? What did I say? Separation does not equal segregation.
that for every one racist idiot fan, there are hundreds of BIPOC fans in the wings who are either ready to boo them off or who will just slide into your DMs with a supportive compliment if they don't have the energy to get down in the comments. And just because we're not represented and just because we're not on screen doesn't mean that we don't exist. And my hope is that actually as anime becomes more global, becomes more quote-unquote normalized in society, the anime tourists that some creators don't like will actually be the people who force the community to become more accepting and push it towards actually helping us gain some better representation. I feel like it's the equivalent of like someone new coming to a house and looking around and being like, is this how you live? We need to do better. Please remember that in the midst of all of this, your voice...
So many anime fans are just sitting at home, nothing going on in their life.
Truly, truly does matter. And if you're feeling unsafe, or if you're feeling like it's not and you're not in a good place, I'll leave some links in the description below, because we don't need the loss of any more wonderful people in this world unnecessarily.
I'm going to
and we're all just going
subscribe
to
to her.
ride the wave of taking small steps towards better representation where we can. Now, if you want a stupid, funny palette cleanser after all that, I think you'd like my video where I tier rank different animes, or if you're feeling empowered to maybe overcome some of that internalized racism, be more visible, you can watch this video.
Well, that was good. Okay, so the plan is to come back next day or two, probably Monday, because that'll be a good day to stream. We'll do it Monday night, and hopefully we'll probably go over, watch another video or two, and then we'll play some games. But yeah, I think I'm going to sign off for the night, and it was a great stream, and I really do hope I'll be able to get back on in the next couple days. That'd be awesome. Alright, y'all, let me see if I can go ahead and get out of this real fast. Let's see. I'm gonna sign us off with some more Sonic and Chill. Know what I'm saying? This is Kid Ego Media. Thanks for coming in, watching videos, and chilling with us tonight. I'll be back the next couple days. Hopefully, nothing goes down. I hope y'all have a great day, great night. Don't forget Twitch, YouTube vertical, YouTube horizontal, TikTok. I'll have a good one.